Lars, my good friend brother Lars, and dock workers of the mighty Swedish Transport Workers Union, congratulations for coming together and making a determination to fight from the front. That's what we do as dock workers. We've got a responsibility to take up on behalf of our families, on behalf of our communities, on behalf of dock workers around the world and transport workers around the world. We've got a responsibility to get on the front foot against a war on workers. It's happening everywhere. It's not just happening over there in Stockholm or in Gothenburg. It's happening down the road in London. It's happening down the road here in Australia, in Long Beach, in Portugal, in ports across the world. There is a war against workers. It's predicated upon taking away permanent jobs. It's based on replacing skilled workers with casual workers. It's fundamentally about removing strong trade unions from a capacity to negotiate decent conditions of employment, to have laws that are regulated by the country and not by the international free market, to be able to have exploitation as a byword of how work is done, and not security and the future and decency of employment and respect from the employer. It's a war that's going to take some fighting, and there's no one better to do it and lead the way than the dock workers movement of the world. We've got a responsibility to reach out to the seafarers and make sure that they're properly organised. And in properly organising them, make sure they don't do our work. No self-handling. So the same things that we did in the European Directive 1 and the European Directive 2 and the future directives that we're seeing unfold down in Portugal and around Europe now don't get any traction. And it's just not working with the seafarers in the Flag of Convenience campaign against low standards of employment and exploitation. It's working through the Ports of Convenience campaign, where dock workers are targeted by employers anywhere in the world. Or the Global Network Terminals campaign, where the 4 big terminal operators, if they're not going to apply the same standards of respect and the ability to recognising organising rights and labour rights, we've got to use our Ports of Convenience and Global Network Terminal campaigns to hold them to account. And in doing that, reach out into road. All the trucks, many truck drivers in your union, coming in and out of intermodal terminals and into rail with Thomas Abrahamsson's union over there in Sweden, SECO. And in doing that, link mines from around the world, strong unions in mines, to manufacturing, to retail, through ships, through our ports, an organised campaign by international trade union activists to be able to touch the people that are trying to break us at any part of that enormous freight forwarding link. Now that's a vision for the future. That's a vision that Lars has got and I've got, Steve Cotton's got. But it needs your support, brothers and sisters. You're the guys on the ground. You're the people that are going to make it happen. You're the ones to go out and inspire your workmates that we can fight. We have to fight. Unions are about fighting, and in fighting we're able to aspire and achieve a better working life and a better life for our families and our communities. Because if we fail on one point, and this happened in Liverpool, they attempted it here in Australia at Patrick's. The Bush administration locked out the International Longshoremen and Warehouse Union in North America. We can't afford failure. We can only afford success. And the people and the forces, the political forces and the corporations arraigned against us have great political power. They have great wealth. They're able to direct governments to put anti-union laws in place, as you well know in Europe. But what we've got is our courage, our determination, our humanism, and the long history of militant trade union activity. We do fight from the front in the dock workers movement. We are prepared to reach out to other workers. We are great internationalists. We do it, sure, in our own self-interest, to protect our rights on the job, but we also do it because we know if there's not a genuine internationalism underpinning our work, then the international corporations that we're dealing with are greatly strengthened by the fact that we can't meet them blow for blow, place by place, anywhere that they visit the war on workers around the world. In the ITF, as Lars knows, he's the Deputy Chair of the Dock Workers, now President of the European Transport Federation. We've got a responsibility to use the leadership of our strong unions, the MUA, the Swedish Transport Workers Union, the history of militancy, the history of courage and the history of success, that we take that forward into a new leadership for the ITF, together with Steve Cotton, who is probably there today, and if he's not, there will be a message. So we form real leadership, young leadership, for young workers, for women, an ability to be able to put our views against and our values against the corporations and the neoconservative agenda that are basically about taking our rights at work and at home and in our communities away from us. I couldn't be with a better gang of sisters and brothers and comrades than people like Lars, strong people, real people, representative people of working men and women's interests, dedicated people. They're not doing it for any other reason than they believe the importance of labour is essential to the future and part of the future. Let's make sure that we secure that future, sisters and brothers, here in Australia, everywhere that they identify us and take us on in this war against our rights. Let's identify them. And together let's reach out to each other and make sure that we go the distance, because that way we secure the future. The future's ours. Good luck on your considerations. Like I said, I wish I was there, but I'm there in fight and spirit alongside you, Lars, and all of my brothers and sisters there in the Swedish Transport Workers Union. Couldn't have better company. All the best, comrades.